If life was perfect, we probably would not want to live that life. There's no growth. There's no movement. There's no ups and downs. There's nothing to actually help you to evolve because you already know everything. Being perfect, that means you're all knowing. So it won't be no purpose for us to even deal with each other in the first place. Because all we need is us. We don't need each other. Because I'm perfect. Although, what is perfect if perfection is subjective in the first place? Yes, perfection is subjective. You say life isn't perfect. I say it is. Hey, look at the atrocities of the world. Say life ain't fair, but life is unfair to everybody. That makes it fair. When you hear a person say we gotta strive for perfection, what are we talking about if all our ideals of perfection is subjective to us? That means if you striving for perfection and I'm striving for perfection, we're still possibly might not be striving for the same exact thing. Your ideal of a perfect world and my ideal of a perfect world, two different things. And I hate to spoil it for you, but whatever your ideal of perfection is, you will never reach it. Because more times than not, it's not even realistic. Even though it's not realistic, you should still strive for it. The reason why you should still strive for it because there's growth in it. It's the failures of trying to get that perfection right. It's going to introduce you to new people, get on different paths, discover something about yourself that you never thought possible because sometimes in order to learn who we are, we have to go through certain things and put ourselves in certain situations. We always say what we won't do or what we won't put up with, or if it was me, I wouldn't do X, Y, and Z. You don't know yourself like that, honestly, because you've never been put in that situation. You've never had that test. That's just like me getting a test from a teacher saying, I know I'm going to make 100, but yes, I've never even studied for this test. Even if I did study it, I'm probably still going to miss something. So yes, perfection is still to be reached because we all have something to strive for, something unrealistic. We got to strive for the unrealistic because that is what's going to keep us growing in the first place. Because if we was already there, life itself would not be worth living because there's nothing to strive for, which makes a boring life. Yet, we live in a world where we point at each other for not being able to hide how unperfect they are. It's the people who point the fingers the most, laughing at people's downfalls and getting caught with their pants down. They have the biggest skeleton in the closet. Only reason why they're laughing at you is because you can't hide it as well as I can. You know how many people that's laughing at Diddy that done probably did some Diddy shit? You know how many people that done laughed at R. Kelly who done probably did some R. Kelly shit? Don't get me wrong, this is not to excuse anybody who's doing anything wrong. We know we got those people who like to pick one thing out of a video and try to make it something and misunderstanding it. What I'm saying is the people who got the biggest laugh and pointing the most fingers are the ones with the biggest skeleton in their closet, and the only reason why they're doing that is because the person who's in that situation just wasn't as good as hiding it, or they got caught slipping with their pants down. Like getting pants at school, somebody pulled this man's pants down. He have a little funny looking underwear. But you wasn't pants, and you probably would be just as much, if not more, embarrassed if somebody came and did you the exact same way. And I say the world is perfect. Subjectively, you gotta unalive life to preserve life, whether it's a plant or an animal. Talking about eating. So vegetarians, don't judge the meat eaters because you're unaliving a life too, a plant. Say plants don't have feelings or anything like that because you don't know. You're not a living plant. Meat eaters don't justify eating animals because you say they don't have a soul. They hurt, they get cold, they get hot, and they can't feel pain. Just do you. Don't justify or rationalize why you want to do you. I be all over the place. But to bring it back home, our imperfection that makes the world perfect in the first place, because life is worth living with the ups and downs, even the trials that turn us into the beast that we're going to become to navigate through this life. You think of a roller coaster ride, you're going to have ups and downs. That's what life is. And then when the roller coaster ride is over, you get off the ride and you give somebody else time to enjoy the ride. Objectively, I feel that the Most High made us imperfect, so we have to depend on each other. We have to use each other, not misuse each other, not abuse each other, but use each other. Make connections. There will be no point of making a connection with you if I'm perfect. Everything that's living is connected to a source, and we need each other for survival in some type of way. That is what's giving the connection. Any broken connection, it would probably unalive us. So stop living in this subjective mind of in a perfect world. You're already in it. It took 1 billion things to go right for you to be born. The stars had to align. Hell, if your parents just missed one more day, you had to outrun 500 million sperm. It only takes one thing to go wrong for you to unalive. But remember, 1 billion things had to go right for you to even be here. For those who need it.